I woke up this morning and I wanted to do a makeup tutorial. So yeah, for some reason, wasn't planning on doing this today, but I woke up and I really wanted to do a makeup tutorial. And then I saw all the puffiness around my eyes and I was not going to be detoured. That's why I do this, is to show how I do my makeup regardless of the obstacles. So I'm just adding on my my eye primer, my Milani eye primer, as usual. Now, one thing I did do to try to alleviate some of the my eye puffiness and things like that is I used a face oil and gave myself a nice facial massage because I had a little bit of extra time this morning. Now, I can't do that every day. So sometimes you just have to use your makeup techniques to really carve out your eyes when you have a lot of eye puffiness. But like I said, I did give myself a little bit of a facial massage, which sometimes seems to help. Another trick that I like to use, this is Bella Terra Oil's green coffee bean oil, and this has caffeine in it. So I like to use this around my eyes to hopefully help bring down a little bit of that puffiness. Another great thing to do is just make sure that when you're lying in bed, that's where things can tend to pool, and depending on if you lie on your back or on the sides, you know, what you ate for dinner the night before, it all plays a role in how you're going to look the next morning. And so I have a few little tricks that sometimes help, but just getting up and about your day really does help as well, because you're no longer lying down, you're upright, things start draining, and hopefully with some of the makeup techniques that I use, I can also do a little bit of concealing. I also want to share some different products that I have gotten. So I am going to start with this eyeshadow palette. And this is from Honest Beauty, and it's a great multitasker. And I'm probably going to do a video on palettes that I like this, that you can use this for so many different parts of your face. You can use it for your eyeshadow. You could use it for your eyebrows, eyeliner, possibly even contour, depending on what kind of palette you have. But I decided to use this one today, as well as this is another thing that I've gotten, is the Profusions Highlight and Contour. So initially I was maybe wanting to do, you know, a different eye look, something with color or whatever. But since I am dealing with puffiness today, I want to kind of just go back to a very basic look and show you how that goes. So let me get started with, I'm going to use this one here, which is just a white, matte white. So right now I'm just starting off with a clean, blank slate. Then I am going to go in with the next tone, and it's going to be a medium tone, that one right there. I also could even use one of these contours. See, this is an even lighter one, and you can deepen it as you go. This one might be a little bit nicer to start with because it is lighter, and then you kind of graduate deeper and deeper. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this into the crease of my eye. And where I focus on is a little bit higher, because my eyes are starting to hood more. And so I could afford to almost create a little bit higher of a crease effect and combat some of that hooding that's going on. So I'm really just kind of focusing on getting this whole area shadowed and creating that gradient effect between up here to here and then from here to here. Now what I'm going to do is take a slightly smaller brush and go in, say, with this deeper shade and start really adding more definition to that crease. And you want to do it more on the outer half of your eye, is focusing that and then blending it in with the other color more. But this one, you're going to concentrate it more in the crease and not blending it up as high as the first shade that I used. And then just getting it right in this corner. There we go. So I think what I'm going to do is take this one here and maybe do a combination of these two if I'm not getting as much depth as I want. So I'm going to take those shades and concentrate it really right just in that corner. And then you just go back in and blend that in. Now I want to keep the lid light. And so I'm going to take this shade, which is a really soft taupey, almost pink shade. And it does have some shimmer to it. So I am going to just apply that with my finger and add that right on the lid. There you go. So this is a really just simple look. It's bringing out your lid. It's keeping the brow out as well. Now what I can do, I'm going to probably add a highlight at the end to the brow with my highlighter, but we're kind of keeping the brow bone a little bit on the lighter side. I darkened and wanted that crease to recede and go back, and then I kept the eyelid more bright. So now I am going to move on to the eyeliner, and I am going to use this. Again, this is a really dark brown and black. I'm probably just going to stick with this, but maybe a touch of black, and do my eyeliner. And by adding this little cat flick, it's actually making that corner the darkest. So you've got this gradient effect, and then you're finishing that with a very dark color just right in that corner. And I go to about halfway. There we go. Now I'm going to take that darker brown again and then just fill in my, oh, actually, no, I've got, like I said, I love these palettes because you could go to do your eyebrow. I could possibly even use that color there for a contour if I wanted to. So this is a great type of palette to have when you're on vacation or when you want to just throw a few things in your bag to maybe do touch-ups later. It's one item that does all these different things for you. So, but I do have a different eyebrow product that I want to try. And this also is from Profusion. And I really like these tiny little pencil brow products. The skinnier ones. I just think that they're very precise. And it's harder to overdo it with these. And then this came as a combo. So you've got the pencil, and then you've got the brow gel, and it's called Good Brow Day. And I will probably put that on a little bit later in my routine. So let me go finish the other eye, get my eyelashes on, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. So one thing I have changed up, I know I've mentioned it in another video, is my lash application. So rather than doing the full strip underneath my lashes like I used to do, and I love that application, that look, everything, unfortunately, I noticed my eyelashes were starting to thin. So regardless of how careful I was, it still seemed to be pulling out some of my lashes. So what I've changed up to are the individual lashes. And I will probably do another video on my lash, situation, how I apply these. I've kind of been practicing them and changing up my technique a little bit. So once I get it down pat, then I'll probably do an updated lash video. So anyways, so the next step that is super important when it comes to concealing your eye puffiness, eye bags, that sort of thing, is of course your concealer. Now, what I want to do is apply the concealer under my eye bag where that shadow is, and leaving it, you blend it out and it all lightens up anyways, but what you're trying to do is brighten the shadow and kind of make it look like it's a more even plane rather than there being that bag there. So I'm going to use my Incognito Wet n Wild concealer, and I have been really, really liking this one. And so I just kind of tap it under right there and then along here. And then here. And then I've got a little sunspot right there, so I always like to get that one. And then I take just the damp sponge and just press it in there. You're not pulling. And this has been a real change up of how I was doing my concealer, as far as I would use a brush, and I was trying to be super maybe detailed, and then I started using a damp blending sponge, and it works so much faster, and you get just as much, I think, you get a very, very good effect. I like to use this in stages because it is a more watery consistency, and so I don't want it drying on me. So that's why I don't do all over my face and then go in at it, because some areas might start drying faster than others. So I'll do this, this, this. And then go at it that way. And this one really does help brighten as well, which is nice. But I just love how easy it is. It's very light. I haven't noticed any drying or anything like that. So I do have a new foundation that I've been using, and it's the CoverGirl Smoothers. And I remember using this a long time ago and really, really liking it. And then you just kind of, it seems like you just go through other different products and you kind of forget about the ones that you really, really liked. All right, and then I just kind of, for added measure, continue to blend it in, smooth it out, get any extra that might be around. And then at this point, I like to go ahead and set my under eyes as well as, well, basically set my whole face, because I don't know, it depends. Like this foundation is very light. It still feels a little bit tacky, so I want to set it, but I really like to set my foundation prior to then going into my contour and blush and all of that. It seems like it then glides over a little bit easier. So I'm just using my Hydra Perfect from L'Oreal. And this is another one I always have, you know, repurchased. So now I'm going to go back to that eyebrow, the Profusion's Good Brow Day. And this is a colored, like, setting gel. And I just set them in place. I'm not sure. I can probably say this is not a solution that's going to beat out my other brow application. I really do like doing brows with my eyeshadows. They seem to be super quick. And then I love the Control Freak, which doesn't have color. Here, this has color. It might just be me needing to get used to it. But as I don't know, you know, you can actually maybe get some where you don't want it and that sort of thing. But I do like the way my brows turned out. Now I'm going to go in with this contour here. And I would love to hear what some of your guys' favorite makeup products are, and if there's any that you would recommend. I experiment, but I probably don't experiment as much as most do. If I really like something, I kind of tend to stick with it. But it is always fun to see what else is out there and do that. It's just, I hate having all of this makeup and you're like, I have my little chest here of makeup and it was getting kind of full and it's hard to open the drawers and all that stuff. So you end up fighting with all of this extra stuff. So I do try to keep it a little bit more simplified, but if I find one that will replace one of my favorites, then that's good too. This contour I do like. You really kind of need to just almost do a stare or like a side-by-side where you do your normal one, your normal products that you're used to, and then see how the other one compares. And you can see it right, you know, right there. Now I do have a new blush. Another thing that I really don't use that much are cream products. generally I have a very oily complexion. It's getting less and less oily as I get older, but it's still on the oilier side. So I don't necessarily gravitate towards the cream contours and everything else. But I did want to try this cream blush, and it's from Wet n Wild, and the name is Floral Majority. So again, you can pat it on and then tap it on with your fingers. I just, like I say, I'm still experimenting, and I tend to just feel more comfortable using a brush. So I kind of apply it the same way I do my powder brush, in the same way. And I really do like this. It's a very nice mauve-y color, and it seems to be blending in just really, really nicely. And then I'm going in with the Master Chrome highlighter, and this is now my new favorite for sure. And this is a rose gold, but it's a very, very light pink. There we go. All right, now I'm going to go in with my foundation brush and just do any cleanup as usual. And then I always like to finish it off with another bit of powder, just to kind of blur the edges a little bit. I'm then going to use the highlighter again and then just add a touch of highlight right there, and then just right there. And my newest lip products that I've been using is this is this Super Stay 24-Hour Color by Maybelline, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And it's a very, very nude light color. And I needed to figure out a good way to apply it, because the first time I tried it, it was super it caked up on me really weird. So what I do is I take off as much of it as possible, and then just put a nice sheen on it, and then let it dry. Now I'm kind of doing where a little bit in reverse, where you'd put maybe your liner on first, and then a shadow, and then maybe adding a highlight on top. With this, the lighter color is what's on the bottom. And then I go in with this Buxom, it's kind of a thicker lip liner. And this one is Hush Hush. And I just go and line my lips, but it's kind of blending in as well. So it's more of like it's lining, but it's contouring the mouth. So I'm keeping the center still light, but framing it with this color. That's a little bit more of a, it's a darker, pinker nude. And these fatter liners are just so easy to work with. Then I take the other part of this one, which is just a gloss, but it really does just finish off the look. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked some of the different products that I shared with you today. I'm playing with them, experimenting with them. Maybe they'll become my favorites here, or maybe not. But so please give me a thumbs up. That would really help me and my channel. Subscribe if you're enjoying this content. And I hope you have a great